think that will do it. Welcome back. So I've got like a couple classic arcade games. Let's try this one. I don't know if we played this on the stream before or not. Let's take a look at Lode Runner. Alright, it's a joystick 2 game. Hang on, let me fix this. Should be easy enough. If that didn't do it, then I'm in trouble, but this should do it. The fire button worked though, so that, yeah, there we go. That's what was weird. Oh, there's no jump. Oh no! Okay, not bad. I don't remember if we've played this before or not. It's kind of fun, though. Is there fall damage? Can't really tell. Alright, I think we've got this one. I think we're going to clear this stage. Maybe I shouldn't be too confident. They're spawning back at the top. Alright, you can fall off a platform and grab onto a ladder, it looks like. At least the enemies can, so I assume I can as well. Ah! I'm in something of a tight spot here. Look at this guy down here on my stairs. Or my ladder. What am I supposed to do about this situation? Tough game, but quite a few levels, if I recall, Sparrow says. Yeah, I imagine this is the... I mean, look, they put 3 digits for the level counter. I mean, that could just be wishful thinking, but... I was thinking, those guys are not going to catch up to me. If I have to dig a hole, if I have to dig away every last millimeter of the planet. Never mind. I figured this would probably be the type of game I really wouldn't be able to beat, but we could do a, you know, a healthy sampling of it. No, that... This is Kong. I wasn't paying attention. This is Lode Runner. Kong is a game we played a long time ago, Gaming Fit. I don't think there's any reason to need to do that one again, but it's worth at least taking a look at. It's a much more complete Donkey Kong clone than the one we just played, and it's a lot more competent. It's definitely inferior to the official Donkey Kong, but it's way better than Mario's Brewery. Those guys are collecting my gold. No! I meant to fire that in the other direction. Oh. Back to stage 1. I can do better than we've done. Play ball. I was ready for that guy. I love when the earth fills in and they get buried. No, one of them disappeared. Go, 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 go. Uh-oh. No, I was so close. All that work deleted. This is a very challenging game. I like it. I played Lode Runner when I was in middle school. One of my friends had some version of Lode Runner. It would have been for like a Windows 95 PC. I don't remember a lot of the details about it, but we played it together and had a blast. And so I always think fondly of Lode Runner just because I remember playing that one version of it. No. Hey, Mile High Rule, welcome in. I hope you're having a great night. We've had a whole lot of adventures tonight. We played like 100,000 hours of Ghostbusters. And then I found Smash TV on the Commodore 64, and it's amazing. Now we're playing Lode Runner, and I'm getting demolished. The enemies here are no joke. They really know how to mess up my life. No! Just woke up, had a great sleep. Great to hear. Nothing better than being well rested. This stage is really tough. You have to run, like, all the way across one of these bricks to pick it up. Much further than you might expect you would have to. Like, my instinct tells me it's like, well, if I just touch it, then... that will count. That guy climbed out way too fast. Excuse me? You guys are never getting over here. No, I'm dead again. Boy, I'm bad at this game, huh? I can't clear the second board. Surely we'll get it. Surely we'll get it. How hard can it really be? No! I hesitated, but I didn't fully comprehend. He was respawning in front of me. The bricks are made of people. Itarama, welcome in. Good morning to you, Eddie. I hope you're having a great weekend. We have had an electrifying night on the C64 so far. And if I can clear stage 2, I will feel even more electrified. I don't know why that's my adjective of choice at the moment. It seemed accurate inside my head. Hooray! We cleared stage 2. I'm now a master of Lode Runner. Well, this looks like a very obnoxious stage. Excuse me, I'm just gonna drop myself in a hole in the ground. I missed all of them. No. Alright, here's something I need to figure out. If I fall down here, I'm still alive. Cool. I wasn't sure if that would work like that. I'm glad it did. No, I did the same thing where I just fell in between a whole lot of things. I'm really good at doing myself no favors. Uh-oh. It was nice knowing you. I may not have the IQ required to solve this level. No! Oh, I'm real bad about that. About destroying it on the opposite side from what I mean to. No, that's all of our lives. I need an infinite lives option for this game. Just so I can practice it. It is a lot of fun. It's like, it's fast moving, it's responsive, the enemy's AI is challenging. There's a lot to like here. The thing is, my so-called real intelligence is insufficient for handling this game. Alright, we're starting off at a disadvantage here. I really need this brick to grow back. I disagree. I disagree. That was... I had that hole complete except for like 1 pixel. No! I see the guy camping on my ladder. Victory. I was a little bit worried that guy might be able to, like, reach up and grab me. Hey, welcome to the stream, my new friend. Thank you for the follow. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. And I very much appreciate you coming on board with us. Very kind of you. Laser Los, welcome in. Oh my goodness, I thought I was a goner. I had no hope of escaping that situation. In the interest of surviving tomorrow, I must sleep, Zergling says. Have fun on the C64. Thank you for being here, Zergling. I certainly hope you survive tomorrow. Sleep well, become well rested, and have a smooth day. I'm such a klutz. Taking off for a bit too, Game and Fit says. If I don't get back in time, have a good one. You too, my friend. Thank you for being here. I don't know how much longer we're going to go for tonight. It is getting rather late. I feel like the best strategy is to somehow trick these guys into pulling all these things down for me. Ah. I don't know if anyone else has ever noticed, but this game is a little difficult. I'm in trouble. Duck something, welcome in. Hope you're doing wonderfully tonight. Got this on the Atari 2600 port recently. It's a solid game. It's a great concept. This is a good version. It's, you know, the graphics are very simple. So you may not find it much to look at, but it plays well. That's what's most important. Really all the, like, you know, I have some control issues, but they're really all due to me. I just fumble my left and my right. It's really tough though. The difficulty ramps up immediately. Like the first stage is really manageable, and then after that, it's just brutal. It's brutally difficult. I don't know. I might not. I may be lacking like necessary brain ingredients for solving this game. But it is a lot of fun to try, even if I don't do very well at it. I really thought I had that for a moment. I saw the end. I saw the end coming before it reached me, but I still had this false hope lingering inside my heart. And then my heart broke. Run! Run! Outrun them! That puts me in a potentially bad spot. If they don't climb out of there, they're gonna get smashed and cut me off. Hey, we made it out. Sparrow, you said you think this game has a lot of levels. Right now, nothing could be more terrifying to me than the thought of this game having a lot more levels. It's already so hard. How are they gonna turn up the difficulty? It's already a nightmare of a game. Good thing I don't have limited lasers. It's a good thing there's not a time limit on the stage. Come on, go faster than them. Yes. I don't know where the exit is. Top of the screen. Thank goodness. Oh my. There's already a pit in the floor over there. Alright, so I think it actually is going to wait here until I hit a button. So we get plenty of time to like sit here and contemplate our doom. Okay, that's just like unbreakable ground, I see. That's cheating. This game is cheating. Oh my, hey, we have another raid coming in. Nice. Mr. Suffer, thank you for the raid. It's a pleasure to have you with us again. Thank you so much, and welcome to your friends. Welcome to the Commodore 64. We're playing Lode Runner. I'll give it a pause. Excuse me. I hope you're doing well tonight. Tell us all about your stream. What were you doing? How did it go? Are you still working on Adventure Island? Chozo Brain, always good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Thumbtack, good to meet you. Thank you for coming along. Is that Crooked Mane? Welcome in. Mumble Slam. ISO Koala. Neff Busha, welcome in. Thank you, thank you. Very grateful to have you here with us tonight. Still not sure what Suffer does or how to explain it. He has 1.5 levels to go, I think. Still at it. I mean, I would wish you the best at conquering it and having the suffering end soon, but something tells me that is perhaps not your style. Let me see if I could give you a shout out in case there are any retro gaming enthusiasts here who don't yet follow you. They'll have a link to conveniently correct the situation. I think I typed that right. My right hand is my dumb hand, and that's what I used to type on the stream. One level and a 4th to go. Suffer only loves Tetris. Hey, that's if you're gonna love one game, that's not a bad choice. I'm getting the feels that Suffer will beat it still a bit faster than Mr. Knight. I don't have anything set up for playing clips. I don't have any of those advanced features. Neff, if I may call you Neff. We don't do sounds and alarms and alerts and things like that on the stream. The official reason for that is I like the quiet, simple environment that suits the late night, chill, peaceful vibes of the stream. The real reason for it is that I'm just too lazy to figure out how any of that stuff works. If you want to play a horrible jank game made by the dude who made Earthworm Jim, play Wild 9 on PlayStation 1, Chozo says. Why would I ever want to play something by the creators of Earthworm Jim? Haven't they tortured me enough? Also, where do I get a copy? There was a time when Suffer was doing Tetris PBs. I love Tetris, but I'm woefully trash at it. I could fall asleep to your voice real nice. Thank you, Crooked Mane, and thank you for the follow. Very kind of you to come on board. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that. My I know my volume is pretty low. Um, it's basically it's like that. It's like that on purpose, kind of. It's a result. The only way I've been able to the only way I've been able to figure out how to avoid having the mic picking up like the sound of my breathing and every little like rustle of my clothes and stuff like that is to have the volume pretty low. Um, it's it's not a bug, it's a feature. If I went to Castaway Island for a year, I'd pick Tetris as the only game to have. That'd probably be a smarter choice than me. I would have to pick if I only had one game, I would have to pick Super Ghouls and Ghosts. That's my favorite game. I couldn't go a year without playing it. You'll like Frownie streams, Chozo says. Thank you, thank you. It's more family friendly, though he's like Mr. Knight. We do lean that direction here. You're not gonna hear a lot of I mean, hopefully, if I behave properly, um, most of what you see and hear out of me is going to be pretty all ages appropriate. Um, and the chat is encouraged to try and lean in that direction too, though maybe not quite necessarily as strictly. Um, I do play M-rated games from time to time, but I try to give a heads up about it when we're going to be switching to that kind of thing. Well, thank you, Koala, for the follow. Thank you, thank you. Have you played Cursed Castilia? Great tribute to Ghouls and Ghosts. I picked it up before the eShop closure. I have not played that one. Um, I actually might have that on the Switch though. I think I've picked it up. I've definitely picked up a digital copy somewhere. But I think the name was different. Does it go under a different name? I think I have it under the name Maldita Castilia, I think is what it was called when I got it. A couple of people say the volume is fine. Thank you, thank you. Oh, we had another follow as well. I'll preserve your anonymity if you so choose, but I certainly appreciate you coming on board, my new friend. Thank you for that. I feel like if you start to hate the game, you're trying to beat Deathless. Which game is this? Ghosts of Ghouls and Ghosts. So Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo. That game I actually have beaten at Deathless twice. I've actually started to work on practice for a third Deathless run with the additional rule that all items are mandatory. So all money bags, all treasure chests, and all random item drops. And I gotta tell you, like I'm pretty decent at Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Not like not like top level speedrunner quality, but I can usually beat it in about an hour to an hour and a half. When I'm running through it with the knife and the gold armor, having to play it with all those bogus weapons, with all those trash weapons being mandatory. The first time I tried that, it took me 5 hours. Boy, it's so much harder. It's so much harder that way. Uh, no need to hide. Welcome in, Prince Phase. Thank you, thank you. On the 3DS, it has an arcade frame, and the joystick mimics your movements. It's a nice little touch. Rich retro computers this game for? This is the Commodore 64. All the first video games that I ever played were C64 games. My dad had one when I was very very young, so I started gaming with Ghostbusters, Donkey Kong, Congo Bongo, Jungle Hunt, Dino Eggs, um, stuff like that. There's a handful of others. Gyrus. I have a hard time, thinking about them, and then but when I see them, I recognize them. So I started with that kind of stuff. We had an Atari 2600 briefly. I don't remember a single thing about it other than it had like the fake wood panel, and we had some of those paddle controllers. I don't remember a single game, so it's just gone from my memory. And then we got the NES, and after that, it was all Nintendo stuff for me from then on out. I never really got to experience much of like the Genesis or PlayStation kind of stuff. I've been trying to play more of that like now on this with the stream, experiencing some of the non Nintendo stuff, but mostly it was Nintendo stuff for me growing up. I had very little exposure to anything else after the Commodore 64 and that brief Atari moment. We're playing with the C64 Mini. I do not have the money or time or skills to maintain a retro PC or microcomputer collection, so we use the Mini. It's a little, it's an emulation box. I usually try to do original hardware with consoles. I'm kind of lucky. I got into retro collecting really early when it was all super cheap, and I built up a fairly nice physical collection. So I kind of feel obligated to use it as much as possible. But the computers, no way. The Mini is fine though. I like the Mini. I like it a lot. I have some. There's some trickiness to it. It's I don't always know what I'm doing when I'm trying to get games to work on it, and when I'm trying to configure the gamepad for it. Because I use this. I don't like the joystick that came with it. Um, but when it's working, it's a delight. Maybe it's just me, but I lose my interest in a game I like if I'm trying Deathless. I like to play it casually. Yeah, no worries. I I tend to only do like challenges for games that I really do like, and I've already played a whole lot. Mostly like arcade style platformers, like Castlevania and Contra. I've got a list on the about page for the stream of the challenges we've done. Most recently, I just did a deathless run of Journey to Silius on the NES and Haunted Castle. Which, if you don't know Haunted Castle, it is the worst Castlevania game. It is a Castlevania game. It was made for the arcades. I played a port of it on the Switch, and for whatever reason, I couldn't stop playing it, and I got a deathless run of it just very recently. Was the Neo Geo stuff ever cheap? That I don't know. I've never come across a Neo Geo in my life. I thought I recognized it. I still develop for the C64 and Amiga. Wow. I know that they still make. I know they still make games for it. Um, I played one. I played a game for the C64 called Lester a couple months ago. Someone pointed it in my direction. It's very good. It just came out this year. I do believe it's a Metroid style game. Boy, that was a lot of fun. All right, I'll drop you a follow. Maybe if you're live sometime when I'm free, I'll be able to drop in someday. I want to do Dark Souls Deathless someday, Chozo says. I always get to the beams in Anor Londo. The small ones you walk across when you first get there. My fear of heights kicks in and I fall. Oh, that is the worst way to lose it. Oh, I'm sorry, Chozo. I hope you get that run someday. I would not be able to grind a deathless run of Dark Souls. Once I mean, I do want to do the new game plus, but mastering that game, that's beyond me. Uh, you want a real C64? I looked into it. I considered getting one, but yeah, I don't have the skill and the time. You beat it. That game is ridiculous. Haunted Castle. That game is ridiculous. I did. I beat it. I beat it deathless. Um, boy, it was an adventure. the last stage, the last stage of Haunted Castle, you have to outrun a crumbling bridge. Right? It's a common thing you see in Castlevania games. That's the one that actually started it. Um, you have to outrun the crumbling bridge, and these bats spawn in, and you have to memorize when the bats spawn in, like based on arbitrary like background details. Like I'm looking at the side of the bridge and like looking for random configurations in the moss, like a Rorschach painting, and trying to tell myself like, all right, so I jump after cracking the bridge number 3, and then I jump next to that piece of moss that looks like an upside down L, and then I count 3 more cracks, and then I jump again, because you have to know where they spawn in, because you have to jump attack them. If you stand and attack them, you lose too much ground and the bridge catches up with you. And if you try to tank the hits, you run out of life because it's too long and there's too many enemies. It is the worst. It is the worst. You have to basically memorize that bridge just to beat the game casually. Oh, it tore me apart. Do you know about iframes in Dark Souls? If you want, I can explain them. Part of me thinks you don't based on your shield build. I don't understand any of the mechanics, Chozo. Not at all. But maybe hold off on a detailed explanation though. It's probably something I shouldn't know since I still have New Game Plus to do. It's probably better if I don't get educated for now. Maybe a little bit further down the line, uh, we can talk about it again. But I think I'd prefer at the moment if you would hold off on teaching me about it. All right, let's see if I can chat and avoid these guys. So I'm mostly a retro guy. Um, Commodore 64 up to PlayStation 2, pretty wide window. NES to N64 is my real sweet spot, I guess. And I will play newer things on the Switch from time to time. We did a Dark Souls playthrough. Um, I've been playing that Kirby game that came out in February, and I'm not going to be able to resist Tears of the Kingdom. I'm going to have to play that. Um, so we do newer stuff, but it's a lot of it's older. I prioritize very strictly blind playthroughs of games, and that's kind of true for both my first playthroughs and my challenge runs. As much as I can, I try to avoid ever doing any research about the games I'm playing, and I very stubbornly refuse all help and advice. So I very rarely understand what I'm doing when I play a game. But I kind of really like those moments of discovery where I learn that my assumptions about a game have been wrong, and the victories that I win, the hard-won victories, are They're always the sweetest. So, there's a lot of struggling and a lot of suffering in what I do. I like brutally difficult arcade-style platformers. Like I kind of mentioned, most of my favorite games are sort of those kind of things. And I also have a fascination for, like, jank, broken trash games. So I try to play a lot of plug-and-plays and a lot of licensed games. And just, like, you know, go dumpster diving. And regardless of how good or bad the game is, I try to always take it to credits. At the least. And if I really hate a game, I might 100% it, just out of spite. What's your favorite worst game? A game you like that is universally hated? Easy answer. Castlevania 64. I unironically love Castlevania 64. Like, it's like top 3 Castlevania games for me. It is a fantastic game. I cannot wrap my head around why everyone hates it so much. I think it's a really great 3D interpretation of the original Castlevania game. I think it's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of style. It's got a wonderful atmosphere. It's got some, like, classic sort of vampire trope moments that are a little cheesy, but that's all right. That makes them fun. I'm stuck. So that's probably it. That's probably my like easiest go-to answer. I used to speedrun Castlevania the Adventure. I was never really good at it, but that's another game. Another Castlevania game, too, that a lot of people hate, but I think is actually a lot of fun. You'd like Cursed Castilia if you like Ghouls and Ghosts. I've heard it's a lot like it. I'll probably, like I said, I think I own it digitally, so I've got to check it out at some point. I have a soft spot for Bubsy on the SNES and Genesis. Everyone hates that. I have a lot of nostalgia for all the Bubsies are pretty oof. I have a lot of nostalgia for Bartman meets Radioactive Man on the NES. I think that game's a lot of fun. I don't think you'd find a lot of defenders of it. I wouldn't say it's a very good game, but I think it's fun. Play it on stream. Oh, I certainly will. I stream pretty frequently. I go live almost every weeknight, and we usually stream for about 5 to 7 hours. I'm kind of lucky. I've got a lot of freedom to devote to streaming at the moment, and so I'm kind of trying to make the most of it. So I really don't play games off stream very often at all. So anything I say that I'm probably gonna play one day, it's definitely gonna happen on the stream if I do. I mean, for as long as I'm streaming. If the situation becomes, unsustainable, then there may be an exception to that, but fingers crossed. Oh yeah, we've done, so I've been streaming for about 2 years, And I've already played Castlevania 64 on the stream 3 times. You don't have to twist my arm to get me to play that one. I've already been talking about playing it in May too. I don't think it's gonna happen in May, but I've been thinking about it, about a 4th playthrough. Yes, we beat a new level. I'd be hyped to see you play it, Chozo says. Thank you, thank you. I want to play it again because there are 2 playable characters, and we've cleared it on normal difficulty with each of the playable characters. But then my memory card corrupted, and I lost my save files. So I wanted to play it again on hard difficulty, but you have to unlock the hard difficulty by clearing it on normal. So I had to do another normal playthrough. So the next time I play it, it'll be my first time doing it on hard mode. So I'm excited about that. Thank you, Mumble Slam, for the follow. Thank you very much for that. Oh, there are four enemies on this level. I want to pretend like when I sit here and stare at the screen that I'm strategizing. But I'm not clever enough to develop a strategy. It's all just run for it and see what happens. No. I don't even understand how... Oh, I do understand. I don't know where those guys think they're going. Yeah, if their plan is to get to me, they're going the exact wrong direction. That'll slow them down. Oh no, I got greedy and it... There's a secret... That guy's stuck. I don't think he can get out of there. I think he's glitched. Hey Chompy, welcome in. Plock might contain my favorite piece of video game music ever? I haven't tried Plock. A Plock is kind of like a Rayman type character, right? Where he's got like detached limbs. This is bad. This is extraordinarily bad. Good night, everyone. Hope everything goes well. Thank you, Angelus. Enjoy your weekend, my friend. Thank you again for the raid, and hopefully we'll see you again next week. Block throws his hands and feet for his attacks. It's an insanely difficult game later on, so good. I think I've got that one. For those curious, I tend to, like I said, I've got a pretty nice retro collection, so I tend to stick to what I own physically. So a lot of times when we talk about games, you know, you'll hear me talk about whether or not I'm going to play something based on, in terms of whether or not I already own it. And for those who are curious, I do have an inventory of my collection viewable. It's not completely up to date, but it's close enough for discussion purposes. It's amazing. One of the most creative games regarding level design, and the music is god tier. Chozo says. I think my cousin had that game when we were kids, but I don't ever remember us playing it together. Wiped out. Wiped out. We got 4 levels in. This game is fun, but it is really tough. It is really tough. I cannot imagine being skilled enough to make it through all of these levels. Because again, like, look at that level counter. It's got 3 digits. That's got to be just like advertising hype, right? They just put 3 digits next to the level for the level counter so that people would see a screenshot of this and think, "Oh, it's got hundreds of levels," but you know, really it's got like 30, right? Please don't tell me it's more than that. It's very difficult to do. It's a very difficult game to do on limited lives. I'm kind of having fun with it, but I'm also discouraged to keep trying because every stage is so hard. The demo is way more clever than I am too. All right, well, why don't we switch gears? We'll check out a different game for a while. It is the idea is that it's a variety night. So let me see what else I've got for us. I think we'll try this one. It's a game I've never played before. I keep hearing the Atari 2600 version of this game is amazing. So let's see if the C64 version is any good. River Raid. Am I playing? Is it F1 to start? Oh my goodness. Okay, I've got to manage fuel. Well, I mean, there's a lot of fuel. Oh, you can blow up your fuel? Alright, must blow up bridges. What am I doing? I'm blowing up my fuel again. I'm gonna guess that balloon is a civilian. So I'm imagining if I don't blow up the ships, I will crash into them, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. As a plane, I feel like I should be flying higher than the ships. There sure are a lot of, that explosion got me. There sure are a lot of, hot air balloons, like, because, again, I'm assuming they're civilians. Game 1, Bridge 7. I guess the bridges are the levels? I also think that the, I mean, I can't finish a thought. Well, maybe they're not. I was going to say that I also think that these white planes flying in from the left are civilians. Since they seem more like obstacles than something to actually hit. But even if they are, there doesn't seem to be a penalty for hitting them. Oh, unless it's a fuel penalty. I don't think so. Maybe I'm just supposed to blow up everything. Alright, what did F3 do? Oh. Okay. F3 changes our options. F1 starts the game. Alright, from the top. I think I was overthinking it. I think it really is just blow up everything. I mean, except our fuel, of course. I'll try and pay attention, though, and see, like, if there are things I'm not getting points for. I would assume that... But it didn't seem like it was punishing me in any way. No, in fact, we get points for blowing up the hot air balloons. Look, we can control our bullets. Isn't that weird? I can make it move to the left and right as I move my plane. I don't think that's intentional. So there are at least 50 bridges to pass. That's a long way to go with just 3 lives. We can probably earn extra ones though. past those tanks. It's a little tricky. I'm trying to make sure that I, like, check to make sure I get points for everything I'm blowing up. It sounds like... It sounds like I'm like, I don't trust the game to give me my points. But I mean, I just want to make sure I'm not firing at the wrong targets. This is it's a pretty alright game. It does seem very Atari-like. This is definitely a simpler game than some of the ones we've been looking at tonight. Oh, I earned a life. Oh, I think we get a life every 10 bridges. No. Could I please not blow up every single fuel container? Alright, this is pretty fun. Is this your first time playing this? Yeah, I've never played this before. People, when I play Atari games, people tend to, like... I've been told a lot of times that River Raid is really good on the Atari 2600. But I don't have it for that. I've never played it. But then earlier today, I found this copy of the game on the C64 and thought, well, I won't wait for the Atari game. I'll just play this version of it. But yeah, I've never seen it until now. You can actually hold the fire button, and it'll fire automatically. It's a little slow. Actually, it might not be more slow than just mashing the button. Oh, except I'll fire when I don't want to and hit all my fuel if I... if I hold the button. Alright, let's really focus. Really focus and make sure I blow up all my fuel. Sure is convenient when the tank is on the bridge. I am kind of surprised that there are no, like, things... I mean, I was going to say I'm surprised that there's nothing that I should avoid hitting, but I mean, I should avoid hitting my fuel. Have you played much Atari 2600 stuff? A handful. I've probably played, like, somewhere between a dozen to 2 dozen games. Like, 10 to... maybe lower than that. Like, maybe around 15 games. I don't know the library super well. I've got, like, 90 or so games on my shelf. I've just never played most of them. I would say my favorite Atari 2600 game currently is Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes. And it's partially because of the silly title, but not entirely. The game is actually kind of weird and interesting. In the game, you play as a syringe, and you have to collect colored bricks from the sky in order to build 3 walls across the bottom of the screen of various colors. And you have to watch out because there are tomatoes flying in from the left and the right to try and crash into you. And then they also drop seeds that grow tomato plants on your wall and destroy sections of it. And so you have to manage building the wall and taking out the tomato plants before they digest sections of your wall, and avoid running into the tomatoes coming in from the sides while you play. It's pretty wild. It's nothing to look at visually. It's just everything is just you have to have a lot of imagination to figure out what anything is supposed to be. It's like it gets like a 2 out of 10 for its graphics, but it's interesting and super challenging gameplay. It's really frustrating. It's a really frustrating game. Yeah, I pull my hair out when I play it, but when I beat it, it's like, it's kind of worth it. Sounds good, to be honest. It's fun. It's pretty fun. We played that. We played a little bit of Tutankhamun. I tried out MASH. We've done, you know, a couple of like Pac-Man and Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. We did a Smurfs game that was actually pretty decent. We did Math Grand Prix. That was a waste of time. I did Star Raiders. I couldn't figure out what in the world that game is. I've tried playing Sword Quest Earthworld. I had no idea what was going on in that game. We've looked at Space Invaders and Frogger and... So a lot of the usual, sort of like, I think what are like the usual suspects. I don't have like a lot of like, necessarily like deep cut or interesting choices. Tried out Yar's Revenge. The Qbert on the Atari is pretty solid too. I feel like I really liked the Atari version of Qbert. I think Star Raiders is kind of cool graphically. I don't really remember much about it other than just a grid. I might be thinking of a different Star game, to be fair. The one I'm thinking of, all I remember is a grid, and I couldn't really figure out what to do. I actually have an instruction manual. If it is Star Raiders, I actually have an instruction manual for that game. So I could at some point read about it and figure out what even is anything. Papa Smiles, welcome in. I hope you are well tonight. Welcome to some River Raid on the C64. Checking this game out for the first time. It's it doesn't have a lot going on, admittedly. It's kind of you know, kind of simple graphically, and the gameplay is pretty straightforward. They're not really throwing a lot of curves at me, but I'm also not getting very far, so. My first impressions of this game are that it's maybe not as amazing as I'd been led to believe, but it's certainly all right. Is it the first person one? The stars flying past looks cool for the 2600. I might not have didn't Star Raiders use the keypad? I don't know, Disco Bear. That might be why I was so terrible at playing it. I couldn't tell you. These games, I just throw them on and just try and work out what to do. And sometimes they're so esoteric that I just spend like 30 minutes scratching my head and have to eventually throw in the towel. I try not to do that, but you know, I just do my best and hope it's good enough. It's been a while. That one is one. So the Star Raiders, though, it's been probably more than a year since I've looked at it. So, you know, I've got a pretty foggy memory at the best of times. So I'd really have to look at it again. I remember having it. You need a plastic overlay with what each button does. I never had a chance then. Papa Smiles says, sometimes we need those. The more lax retro titles are a nice break from the old masochistic in nature games. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm not, I don't mean to sound down on it. And I probably do. It's had some stiff competition tonight, this game. I discovered Smash TV on the Commodore 64 earlier tonight, and that was like a mind-blowing, life-changing experience. to find that Smash TV is not only on the Commodore 64, but it's really good. And I was able to get a twin stick control setup functioning for it. So like I'm over the moon about that. But the thing is that game was so amazing that like now everything else is like suffering in comparison. Don't think you've heard of that? Did you mean you haven't heard of it on the Commodore 64 or at all? Smash TV is it's like an arcade game. It's brutally difficult. It's a top-down. Oh, I guess all of them have to be top-down. It's a dual-stick shooter, which is a genre that I'm actually like think I'm really fond of, even though I've only played maybe only 2 games of the type my entire life. But yeah, Smash TV is a lot of fun. It's got a lot of influence from the movie The Running Man. And it's just, dodge the bullets and take out the enemies. It's tough. It's super tough. I've got a port of it on the Super Nintendo. The game's only like 4 levels long, and I can barely make it to stage 3. I've never even made it to the boss of stage 3. Oh, I'm falling apart. I'm falling apart. Just look at it. It's really impressive for the Commodore. It's great. It's great. It's a legit classic. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, but it's super hard. It's brutal. Wasn't Robotron 2084 one of the first twin stick shooters? I think it was. But the thing about Robotron was I actually had that on the Commodore when I was a kid, but I didn't know it was a twin stick game. And you can play it. It has a single joystick mode, but it's not very fun to play it like that. So I never really got into that game. I found it clunky and awkward. I need to see if I can play it with a twin stick setup on the Commodore. I don't know if it will allow for it or not, because it might be an older Commodore game, and they might not have worked out how to make that possible. They might have, though. I'll have to look. I actually have to look into that, and because I'd love to. I would be willing to give it another try, in a twin stick sort of mode. It might be a lot better like that. But yeah, I think Robotron is earlier than Smash TV. I think it sort of inspired it too. Just finished Batman for the NES. That was brutal. I played a little bit of that. I haven't beaten that one yet. I'd like to. What I played of it was real fun. I threw it on randomly one afternoon on the stream, and just kind of keep forgetting to go back to it. Batman NES is a good time. Yeah, I liked what I played of it. Robotron was 82. Yeah, that's much older. That's much older then. Wonderful game, but wow, the last level is awful. Weren't some of those games actually originally played with a dial? Maybe. I think Akari Warriors had a weird setup. Or maybe it was a rotating joystick. I'd have to look into it. I'm sadly I'm ignorant, so I don't really know offhand. Really enjoyed it. Great soundtrack. Great feels. Controlled well. That's Sunsoft, right? I hear you can't go wrong with Sunsoft on the NES. And I mean, I've played Journey to Silius, and you certainly can't go wrong with that game. So I would definitely trust the makers of that game to I mean, I'd give anything they made. I'd give anything they made a shot. I really like that game. Have you played Gimmick? I have not. I have not played Gimmick. No. Ah, I sailed through. I like got caught on a single pixel there at the end of that little valley, and I don't know. I don't know that that was correct. The enemy blew up my fuel. I don't think I ever noticed that before. What a jerk. I mean, I guess I'd do the same to him, so my complaining might not be well founded. I also don't think we get I thought we got an extra life at a certain bridge point, but I think it's points that do it. Yeah. You get an extra life at least at the first 10,000 points, maybe at every 10,000 points. I don't think I'm down as low in the valley as the game thinks I am. Oops. No! Get out of here. We got a new high score. Sunsoft game with a very good soundtrack. I think Bella or Jeff was talking about Gimmick. I think that's one that he has on vinyl or something. I believe I remember him telling me about it being really good. Don't know if it's made it out of Japan originally, but it's a cult classic. Alright, let's see, out of curiosity, what happens when we pick different game modes. Let's just go all the way for game mode number 7. Wow. Look at how narrow this is, and there's an enemy coming in, like, right at the, wow. That's what I get for skipping to the end of the game, right? My goodness, there's a new enemy type that we never saw before. But that was abysmal. I can't get through this one little narrow area. It requires too much precision. Wow, that's rough. You just have to take my word. It's tougher than it looks. The thing is, like, what makes it super hard is that, like, I have to go quick because that other plane is coming in from the side. All the way back. The bridges are the checkpoints, but they're the only checkpoints. This game that utilized a new sound chip. It was a later released NES title, allowed for 2 more sound channels, which is why the soundtrack sounded more full. Couldn't remember the name of it, but yes, I know that game. That's a very narrow river to run. Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm just blundering so hard right here. Boy. I make it through the difficult part and I die on something easy. Alright, I wanna at least make it to 1 bridge. If we make it from bridge 50 to bridge 51, I'll feel like a success. I don't, it won't be an earned success because I skipped ahead 50 bridges, right? But cool thing is that if I do make it to bridge 51, after like struggling with this for a few minutes, after struggling with this for a few hours, I will I'll go back to level 1 difficulty and it'll feel super easy. No. That guy didn't move like that last time. Thank you for the follow, Papa Smiles. I don't know if I thanked you properly for that, but I certainly appreciate it. Sometimes they come to life and sometimes they don't. No. I feel like the more times I try this, the more animated the enemies are becoming. They were perfectly content to hold still for so many tries. And now they've just like, they've got bored of waiting on me. Boy, they did a good job. They did a good job spacing. I mean, I don't know how much of this game is like the layout is like intentionally like thought out, but it feels like they did a perfect job like placing the enemies for like maximum frustration. Where it's like, oh, I should be able to speed by that. It's actually a roguelike. Almost. I got so close going to the left path, going down the left path, that like... I know it seems absurd to like now try to go down the other path. But the thing is, when I went down the left path, I tripped at the finish line. Victory! Bridge 51. Agent Frownie's a river raid master now. I went a long way after that too. It unlocked my true potential there for a moment. All right. Back to back to where I really belong. Let's see if my theory was correct, and now I'm really good at the early levels. Hit me. I was really worried about that tank. I was really worried. We did see a new type of enemy, but we didn't see a lot of new types of enemies. So they do change it up a little bit when you get further along, but not by a whole lot. We've got a set, and we're gonna stick with it. I did not go all that far before losing my first life. alleys are getting much more narrow. That plane coming across was timed to hit me. And I saw that, and I panicked. No! I didn't even beat my high score. Heartbreaking. Alright, my friends. Well, it's been a lot of fun. I kind of hate to wrap it up when I got so many people here keeping me company. But we've been going at it for a very long time. It's it's almost it's coming up on 8.5 hours for me here. So I think maybe we'll say our good nights, and I'll just look around and see if there's anyone live. We might drop in on with a raid. It's been really great having you here. Again, I'm very thankful for all the raids and everyone who's come in with the raids and stuck around. It's very good of you. So hopefully we're going to get to enjoy your company again sometime in the near future. I normally don't stream on Saturday nights. That would be tomorrow night from my perspective now. So I wouldn't expect to see me then. Maybe Sunday night, probably Monday. Next week, we're going to be working on Air Fortress on the NES. I've been challenged to try and beat Air Fortress twice in 15 hours. I've never played it before. I'm going in blind. I think the challenge may be impossible, but I'm not a coward. So I'm gonna try to do that. We'll be playing more Super Ghouls and Ghosts, working on that. Learning to try to beat the game deathless 100%. Long way off from that goal. But it'll be fun to try. We've got more work to do in the Kirby game, and probably need to start something else up as well. So we'll see. I'll let you know in the Discord. I'll fill in the schedule there as we do. Thanks again, Frownie. Hey, thank you, Sparrow. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Disco Bear. Appreciate you being here. Something is wrong with my Twitch app. I'm trying to scroll through the live channels, and I just keep seeing the same like 10 channels scroll by again and again and again. And they legitimately are the same 10 channels because I checked the names. What is going on? Too bad nobody's playing Castlevania 64 right now. That would be the perfect environment to drop in on. That says a lot about society that nobody's playing Castlevania 64 right now. It's heartbreaking. All right, I'm going to pass this off in the direction of just Ellie will do. She's working on a playthrough of Breath of the Wild. I believe a first playthrough in anticipation of Tears of the Kingdom coming up. Looks like she's in a shrine at the moment, working out some puzzles. It's got kind of a comfy, cozy, sort of laid back environment, though. A good place to unwind after a long night of adventure. So come along and check that out, my friends, if you would. One last time, I'll tell you thank you very much for being here. It's been a blast. I hope that I'm going to get to see you again. In the meantime, have a wonderful weekend, and let's head out. We're all out of stream. Let's go on an adventure.